No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
We just got our trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth. This is something that people have been looking forward to for quite a long time. David Koepp has come back. Gareth Edwards is directing this thing. There is a lot riding on this film to not only sort of breathe new life into the franchise, but to just be like an entertaining sequel because it's the return of the guy that wrote the original Jurassic Park and The Lost World. So I'm going to go through the whole trailer and kind of break down my own personal thoughts, and we'll jump into what I think the film could be, because I actually have a lot of stuff I want to talk about. So it starts off with an introduction to the museum. Everything with the cinematography looks pretty good in my personal opinion, and I will say that it looks like we're actually going to be getting more of a Raiders of the Lost Ark sort of start to this movie where things fall into place. Scarlett Johansson has showed up to Jonathan Bailey's job and she's like, hey, there's a mission to go retrieve DNA. This is something that could actually be very beneficial to mankind. Do you want in or not? Now, we also get a Titanosaurus reveal, and they look drastically different from any sort of sauropod we've seen before in the franchise. Personally, I think that they may have been inspired by the Godzilla monster that is also called Titanosaurus. I mean, Gareth Edwards is making this movie, but the reason I mainly say that is because they've got those orange, like, spiny web things on their neck, and that is something from that creature. Now, I will say this movie looks beautiful. I have a very hard time believing that anybody could walk out of it not saying that the trailer looks good. All of these species we learn exist in one isolated location, which is kind of weird because you're like, wait, I thought there were dinosaurs all over the planet, but they are dying off. We already know this from the synopsis that got released, but this place is kind of special. Scarlett Johansson says she can guarantee Jonathan Bailey's safety, and he has like a little quip. Like, everything looks very well acted, it looks very well shot. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about some of the humor and the overall tone in this trailer, because I rewatched the scene in Jurassic World Dominion where they're going through the Malta thing and the raptors are keeping up with the cargo plane that's like flying or just driving super fast, and they couldn't keep up with the dirt bike. They got like run into by cars and stuff. Like, that whole scene is so ridiculous. And it has nothing to do with this movie, but it's kind of like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm trying to be as transparent as I can be. Dominion really let me down. That movie, oh man, I'm hoping this one really redeems the franchise. One specific point I want to talk about is that Duncan Kincaid and Scarlett Johansson's character Zora Bennett, this movie looks great, by the way. They say that they have to avoid government patrol, which is making me ask the question, is this even legal? Why do you gotta stay away from the government if you're going to go get this dinosaur DNA? But the more you think about it, it's like, well, why can't they just take the DNA from the company or the government themselves if they've confiscated it and clone like their own version and make some sort of thing that's gonna save mankind? I think it's an illegal operation. That's what it looks like anyways. They say it's a very dangerous trip. No one's dumb enough to go there, which is why the government's gonna leave them alone. I love Mahershala Ali's acting. I think Scarlett's acting is really good too. Personally, it's looking very solid, especially when they start loading guns up and everything like that on the way to the island. No, they tell us this is the research facility for the original Jurassic Park, but it's not Site B. Okay, lore-wise, I don't know what to think of this anymore, because Site B was supposed to be the factory floor, and now we're learning that this new place is where they bred some dinosaurs and I guess dumped them there and left them to die. I'm not sure though. You know, it gets even more interesting with the whole Benjamin Lockwood side of things. So like, was Hammond involved here, or is this the other guy? I don't know. Now, again, I'm not sure how I feel about the quips. I'm gonna ask you guys, am I jaded, or like, a lot of you guys loved Alien Romulus. I thought Alien Romulus was pretty good. It was alright. A lot of you guys didn't go see a movie called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I actually loved that film. I like movies. So, am I coming at this a little too cynical? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. We do get our first look at the new Quetzalcoatlus, and it looks kind of like Toucan Sam, but I mean, it's a cool looking design. It's just super different from what we saw in Dominion. Don't know if this is like a male version, but the excuse for the film is that these were creatures that were so messed up and dangerous they didn't want to put them in Jurassic Park. So something to keep in mind. Again, the movie does genuinely look beautiful. Like, this is a good looking Jurassic Park film based off of this trailer. Now, the dinosaurs, again, they were deemed too dangerous for Jurassic Park. I have no idea what that means. Velociraptors are confirmed. Dilophosaurus, confirmed. And the worst of the worst is always here for what the trailer says. And there's this giant gorilla hand that is covered in scales that goes on the dock. I don't know what that thing, like, what were they even trying to make with that? Again, it does look really good visually. I wish the tone of the trailer was more ominous and dark than more blockbustery quippy, because some of this in context probably is supposed to be taken way more seriously. But again, I guess they're just trying to make a trailer for all audiences. I don't know. Whatever this thing is, it looks extremely messed up. It's some kind of gorilla monster with like a weird thing on its head and strange teeth. Again, shot composition, lighting, and everything like that. And the scene in question with Duncan and Zora looks scary, looks good, looks like proper old school monstrous Jurassic Park feel. There's also a brief shot at a cool new tactical Jurassic Park Jeep that like storms through a little blocked off area. Scarlett Johansson with the gun is looking awesome. There's a T-Rex sunbathing like a crocodile, or at least that's what it looks like. I think that's the river raft sequence, which could be really, really cool. How did that guy get in there? I don't know. He ain't going to be in the next one. Really, all of this scene right here, this clearly looks like Gareth Edwards doing his Godzilla thing. If you don't remember the beginning of that movie, Bryan Cranston's wife is like stuck in this nuclear facility and dies. Spoiler alert. And then we've got the T-Rex attacking the dude in the water. Honestly, that looks solid. That looks really good. I actually thought that he might have grabbed him at one point, but I don't know. The movie looks visually, you can tell Gareth Edwards is a really dynamic director. He's actually getting some super good performances out of Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali and Jonathan Bailey. Everybody looks real. The conversations are for a trailer, so maybe they're edited to kind of be a little more modern. I don't know. Now, the weirdest part at the end is we learn that the Spinosauruses are in like this symbiotic relationship with the Mosasaurus, helping them hunt. My least favorite part is actually where she's like, none of what you said is good. I think I might be too jaded. I don't know, but they just seem a little off to me. The Spinosaurus, by the way, has been drastically updated, which I don't know what that means for the one from Jurassic Park 3, because if this is the island of misfit dinosaurs, does that mean that the one in Jurassic Park 3 has been specially designed for the park? Or, you know, I don't know. It's something to think about. Now, the new Mosasaurus looks wildly insane too. It's like a whale. It's got more of a green and white color pattern. It's hard to tell which one's male, which one's female. We know the one from Jurassic World was a female. This one is just a brand new clone. No idea what's going on with it. So, general thoughts. It looks good. It looks like a really well-directed film. It looks like it's a really well-acted film. My favorite scenes were actually at the bar, but the stuff on the island, you can't go wrong with that old school classic Jurassic Park feel. Now, with all of that being said, I will say I kind of want this movie to really wash the taste out of my mouth of Jurassic World Dominion, because that movie, I'm not alone in that. Like, that was... I stopped making YouTube videos for Jurassic Park after that came out, because I was like, I cannot believe that's the film they made, that they took like a whole extra year to make. For a long time, we were thinking that Jurassic World Rebirth was rushed, but from what the article told us yesterday, apparently before Dominion was even done filming, Spielberg had David Koepp like write up a script for this one. He was like, I guess that's what we infer from the information anyways. So it actually looks like this one they've been cooking at for 4 years. So if that's true, that's nuts. That's nuts, man. Overall, my biggest concern is the humor. All Jurassic Park movies have humor, but I don't really like modern Hollywood humor. It doesn't actually look that egregious, and the acting looks incredible. The dinosaurs look great. The facility is covered in like water where a leak got out or something like that, and the dinosaurs themselves are looking proper scary. I have no idea what to make of the mutant. I want to say that's David Koepp doing the Super Raptor, because if you remember back for the Lost World Jurassic Park, the original plan was for that creature to be some sort of like alien xenomorph monster. And it really does look like for this new one, David Koepp just pulled out, you know, his drawer of Jurassic Park scripts and was like, here, I'll put that in this one. Although I don't think the Super Raptor is ever supposed to be that big. So that's something to think about too. I got a lot of thoughts, man. I mean, the trailer itself looks really well directed, but I don't really know what to think about certain things in the trailer, if you know what I mean. Jurassic World Rebirth looks like a really well directed movie. It looks like it's got beautiful visuals, really good visual effects. And it also feels like the general acting and feel and plot of the movie are way more basic, way more simplified. They're adding to the lore. My hang up is mainly because I'm really skeptical after Jurassic World Dominion. I really didn't have a good time with that one, so this one one, I'm more or less trying to like feel it out and see if it's going to be as good as it possibly can be. If Jurassic World Rebirth is able to really reinvigorate this franchise and kind of bring it back to what it was supposed to be, that will be a massive good thing for the brand. But if it doesn't, well, that's gonna suck. It looks like the film is about an illegal operation to like an abandoned Jurassic Park research facility where they left a whole bunch of messed up dinosaurs. Their goal is to get in there, get the DNA and get out and make some sort of drug that's supposed to save mankind from heart disease. Now, I don't really know how they're going to go about doing everything. I love the fact that people are actually shooting guns in this movie. I love the fact that the dinosaurs are actually presented in certain scenes as being really scary and really like primal. I don't know though. Isn't it weird that tonally the trailer looks like it's more or less just a blockbuster action movie, but we know everything they've told us is that it's supposed to be scary and dark and crazy. So yeah, that's something to think about too, man. I think the most exciting stuff is really just seeing how they're going to do the river raft sequence. The attack on the boat could be really cool with the Spinosaurus and Mosasaurus. Favorite stuff is just going through this old research facility. I'm getting very Jurassic Park 3 vibes, but again, I don't know what that mutant weird freak is. I don't know if it's supposed to tie into Jurassic World, like the first Jurassic World, or if it's just something that was left abandoned. I have no idea. Favorite new designs of the trailer, I gotta say, I actually really like the Titanosaurus. I think that thing looks proper, wild, and cool. And I will also say that the Spinosaurus is very interesting because it's so paleo updated, but it also goes to show you how wildly different it looks from the one from Jurassic Park 3. I know it's a returning creature, but the T-Rex, you can't go wrong with. My favorite dinosaur. So these things probably weren't bred lysine deficient because they were just dumped on the island and left to die. I really want to hear what Hammond's role is with all of this, or if they're even going to talk about it. I've read my fair share of really old Jurassic Park scripts for the first film and The Lost World, and I have a feeling that David Koepp is really returning to some old ideas from like 95 and 96. But it's hard to say what's going to become of this because, well, generally everything going on with the current like film industry. If it's true that this is an illegal operation to the island in order to get DNA, I'm wondering how everything plays out in terms of like their rescue. How do they make it off this island, especially with this big giant freak creature there? And what is the creature? Like, I do want to stress this, I'm pretty confident it's not a human dinosaur hybrid. If anything, I don't know where the gorilla, like, knuckle dragging thing comes from. It's kind of weird, isn't it? But I will say that the way they described it in the article, they said Rancor, Xenomorph, and T-Rex. So is it a Tyrannosaurus Rex? The name D-Rex has been floated around a lot, but D-Rex is just short for Diabolus Rex, which was something that they were going to use for the original Jurassic World. I'm thinking they might be connected, but I'm not too sure just yet. If Jurassic World Rebirth actually comes through and gets a W for this franchise, it will be very good for not only the brand, but for all of us fans, because if this film is solid, it's definitely going to elevate everything. Anyways, guys, those are all just my own thoughts on the trailer. What do you guys think? Do you think the visuals look good? Do you agree with me about the trailer's humor? Do you think David Koepp and Gareth Edwards are going to pull this one off? And if not, let me know why. But whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be on the first trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video. And as always, take it easy.